I guess so. This is the Drunk Shanghai podcast. Low-key, I'm not gonna lie, I was drinking and I was like, oh, I need to film a podcast, but I didn't have an idea that I like. I was gonna do one where I like react to my old music videos, but I need a lot of time to like prep for that because I gotta put together like all the different music videos, put them up and everything. It's just a lot of work in that sense of like, I just kind of wanted to just jump on the mic and just yap it, and then just randomly a beer popped up in my hand and I was like, well, I guess we know the theme of it now. So throughout the podcast, I'm just going to be getting a little more borracho, but no pasa nada. This is my Saturday night. By the way, it's Saturday, guys. So I'm drinking a Pacifico and I'm drinking a LA soju, which is a soju michelada, LA inspired soju cocktail. Do you guys like my pants, by the way? These are the Labubu pants. These are the ones I've been painting. I got one on my ass too. You can't see it, but subscribe down below and you can see it. All right, to get into it, guys, basically this whole week I've been working on my pants that I've been doing, the custom ones here. But I've also just been working on my brand in general. I've been doing a lot of stuff with planning my YouTube videos and the brand and the t-shirts and stuff I have coming up. And I've honestly just been really focused on doing as much as I can that's just the Shanghaii brand and the Shanghaii everything. And I know I've been talking about doing that, and that's been my main focus. And so I'm happy that it's kind of like, it's coming to life. It's been pretty good so far. I can't lie. Like I definitely have to like curb my expectations because I am very much somebody that when I do something, I'm like, I'm going to get 100 orders and then I got 10. And so it's like I started changing my perspective of being more like celebrate every victory. And I actually heard that on another podcast. I was filming a podcast for Chicos Toxicos and Bradley Martin. He said if I could go back, I would celebrate more of the victories. And that really stuck with me and resonated with me because I thought about that and I was like, that is really true. When you're constantly chasing this, dream that you have of being bigger and bigger and bigger, that's okay. And I think that that's important to always be hungry. But I think it's also important to, appreciate everything you've done along the way. Because if you haven't, then like you become greedy almost, I should say. If you don't appreciate all the steps that you've done along the way, you become greedy and you become so focused on this unattainable goal of like, I'm going to have all the money and all the fame and all of the success. And you don't really appreciate, that 60K you hit. Like I hit 60K on TikTok and I haven't done anything yet because I want to hit 100K. I'm going to hit 100K. And when I hit 100K, I'm going to do a little something for it. I don't know yet. I'll plan it, when it gets closer. I want to like celebrate that moment. I think it's important to do that because otherwise you're just chasing constant growth. And that's okay, but it can become toxic after a while because you're not appreciating everything you've achieved. And even me, like what I was saying, like I wanted to, react to the music videos I've done in the past. And that would be a part of like celebrating what I've done because I've done a lot of cool stuff. Like I easily have over 1 billion views that I worked on. My channel alone, my YouTube channel, the one that this is on, has just hit 2 million views total. And that's crazy to me because, I was always the person that was creating these videos for artists. And then, the artist gets all the views and gets all the notoriety. And I never cared because, that was my job, was to make their videos. But now I'm like, oh, wow, like people like me too. And they're, interested in what I'm doing. So that's just really cool for me to, see the progress that I've made from being behind the camera to being in front of the camera now. And it's funny because I'm still recording myself and still lighting and doing the audio and stuff. And I'm going to edit this all myself. But it feels better when, the paycheck hits and it's like, that's your paycheck. Like my last podcast I made, total transparency, I made like $35 probably. It wasn't crazy, like nothing crazy, like, but for me, not only did I get really good feedback from you guys, and I love that. I read all the comments and I really appreciate it. It made you realize like you are like worth something. And it kind of made me realize like, damn, like I have monetary value to this. And I'm not just, the behind the scenes guy. And so it's really started to kind of give me perspective in a sense about how much my worth is and like what I am and my value. I've seen a few comments recently where that'll say, you're going to be the next biggest on YouTube or next big YouTuber, next big influencer, content creator, whatever you would say. I love those comments personally because it kind of solidifies to me that like I'm not just chasing a fever dream, I'm not just chasing some idea of being like, oh, I'm a content creator. Oh, I'm going to go from behind the camera to in front of the camera. Like it solidifies that I'm doing something right. And it solidifies that I made a decision to do something that people actually are, like want, and that it's like I'm marketable now. And so that's really cool for me because, like I said, I've spent so much time behind the camera that it's not that I didn't have a value for myself, but I didn't think that I could be in front of the camera and be marketable. I thought I was always going to make the money behind it. And now seeing that I can make money in front of it, it's just cool, So I don't mean to babble on about that, but I just thought that was a really cool moment for me. I've appreciated all the support, and you guys, without you guys, I wouldn't be who I am. So I'm so grateful for you guys. And that's one thing that I've said on many different platforms, and I've said to people on and off camera, on and off recording, is that I'm forever going to be for the people. I'm forever going to be that guy that's, in the crowd, partying with y'all, celebrating. I never want to be that person that is, too cool behind, tinted windows and sunglasses on. Like, I get you have to have privacy in your life, and I get that there's a certain level of like reserved you need to be. And I think everybody needs that, no matter who you are. Like, we all need some type of, like we need to step back from the madness of the world, even if it's your job or, work, school, just whatever it is in life, But I do think that it's important in my line of work personally that I stay connected with y'all. And that's why I'm so down. Like, whenever I go anywhere, like I just want to be a part of everybody. Just, moving forward, I want to make sure that I express that. And I also always remember, like, I'm for the people. I wouldn't be shit without y'all. So gotcha. But I'm gonna take another swig of this. But I've just been keeping it pushing. Honestly, I've just been enjoying life. I know I joke around a lot about saying like I want to get a girlfriend. I don't know, honestly. All right, look, this is the thing about like dating for me. When I date somebody, I want to be with them forever and ever. And I don't think that I'm like a hopeless romantic. It's just like when I date somebody, I want to put everything into it. And that's how I was in my last relationship that kind of ended up not going that great. And so I think there's like a little bit of like, scar tissue to it. I'm nervous to get back into that position just because there's so many. This sounds wrong. There's so many girls in the world. There's so many personalities. It feels like overwhelming sometimes. I almost want to like cut everybody off. Like sometimes I do too. Obviously my ultimate goal is to like continue doing content and to build a brand. But I also think to some extent I have to have like a little bit of like a sexual appeal to myself. Like I think that's part of my marketability. Like I know that I'm like a good looking guy. I know that I have like charisma, and that I know that like I'm a marketable person. And so it's kind of hard to be like locked down in a relationship, when you're ideally, you can sell more. Not saying but I'm just saying like if I'm not inside locked down with my girl, then there's more potential for me to like be able to engage with others. And I don't want people to think that I'm doing this strictly for engagement, because I genuinely, like I said, I like connecting with people, but it's also just like, I gotta be marketable. You kind of gotta just feed the beast. And I think that's a big part of what I learned is like, a lot of the shit is business. I'm happy that I'm connecting with you guys on a genuine level and that you like me because of who I am. But at the same time, it's like I'm applying a dollar sign to that now. Now it's like, okay, I was genuine. I did the right thing. I climbed the ladder. I'm still myself. Like at the end of the day, I'm still going to tell y'all the pure raw facts. But at the end of the day, I still got to pay the rent. I still got to pay my bills. And if this is what I'm doing, then I got to make sure that it's paying the bills. You can look at some of the biggest artists like Peso Pluma. He might be doing stuff just because that's who he is, but it's also you stirring the pot. He's like, what girl is he with? It's marketability. People love gossip. I love gossip. Fuck, I'm chismeando as fuck. I love that shit. But like at the same time, you can't deny that it doesn't sell. And I guess my point in all of this is just saying like, I think it's better to like just sprinkle the mystery of who's he with or who's he talking to, and keep this like, this kind of elusive behavior of who I am and who I'm with and who I gotcha. So, dating life is not something I'm looking at for the next few years, but it's all good. That's better for y'all, right? Okay, that was the alcohol. That was the beer a little bit. I'm honestly just giving you guys, this is like an exclusive inner dimensional look at Shanghai. In my last one, I felt like I detailed like who I was. So for this one, I just got drunk, honestly, for this shit. I'm just going to tell you guys everything. You guys, I'm so fucking impulsive. I'm going to keep it real. I went to a therapist for about a year and a half, and it was initially spurred by my ex telling me I should go to therapy. And I think that was maybe one of the few good advice she had. And I ended up really having a good therapist, and I still have a lot of like respect for that person because I feel like the therapist, not my ex, they like really kind of held me to like no bullshit. I feel like a lot of therapists sometimes will just let you fucking jib jab. I learned a lot from her, and I feel like I started to heal from a lot of like, there's been a lot of death around me, honestly, since I was like younger. I had high school classmates die. In my first job, I had some people pass away from I had a lot of like unfortunate death around me. And then when I moved to New Orleans, I saw New Orleans is very high in a murder capital. So I saw a lot of murder happen. I lost a lot of friends to that, unfortunately. And so I just have a lot of trauma of death, I would say. I just don't think I came to terms with it for the longest because it would just happen and I had no way to really comprehend it. And so moving forward, being with this therapist, I was able to kind of start understanding that stuff. And as I became more aware of like how to deal with it, how to accept it, it started opening my ability to like deal with stuff better. And I think in turn, it started making me being able to like accept more things from the outside. Because I was always closed off as a kid. I was for sure stubborn. As I got older, it doesn't really fly to be a stubborn asshole when you're older. Like you got to take constructive criticism. Like, you know, you gotta be open to people telling you shit. And I'm telling you that from somebody who was stubborn and said no to everybody. And I still am a little bit of a stubborn asshole. My biggest advice is don't do that because it holds you back. I'm so much more loving. I'm so much more like, appreciative and like giving flowers to people and accepting things. I mean, my house has pink shit everywhere. I've just allowed myself to just be me. I think that's the best thing that I could have done for myself. And I wouldn't have been able to get there fully and completely without, years of working on myself and then therapy and everything. My point with the therapist was basically they had told me that I have impulsivity, and I've always just thought I was a fucking crash out, and I guess impulsivity kind of is being a crash out. She was like, no, like you're kind of just impulsive. She's like, I wouldn't say you have any addiction to anything. She's like, I just think that you indulge in things a lot because of the immediate response to it, whereas you don't think about the after action. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Funny enough, I also have anxiety about things. So I have this constant battle in my head of maybe we shouldn't do that. That's going to not do so well. And then I have impulsivity telling me just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. And so funny enough, I want a tattoo that's an angel and a demon because I feel like I have an angel and a demon on my shoulder in the sense of like in Emperor's New Groove where Kronk has the angel and the demon all the time. I feel like that because it's constant back and forth. But whatever, no pasa nada. That's my catchline now. That's funny. That's like a tangent into my life. I feel like my life has so many stories, which is so dope is because I mentioned in my last podcast when I was in Colorado and I like had started working at the studio, I was like, I don't know enough about life. Like I can't make music. I can't tell stories because it's so true. My biggest advice to anybody who's, 18, 19, you're not going to know what the fuck you want to do. Very few people know what they want to do when they're 18, 19. I promise you, it's like 1 in a million that know what the fuck they want to do. And congratulations for them, but don't feel guilty if you're not one of them. Go the fuck out and experience life. Leave your hometown. Like, God forbid that you have to come back home. Like you might have to just come back home and like, be burnt out and be like, shit, I'm broke. I have to get a job again. You know how many jobs I quit and got and quit and got and quit and got rehired at? My biggest thing is to just experience anything outside of your hometown. Don't stay in your hometown. If you want to, do it. I'm not going to hold you back. If you're comfortable and you're content with it, cool, do it. But if your dream is to just, do something, fucking leave. You know how many stupid ass trips I took? I mean, granted, my mom's amazing. If I didn't have my mom, I wouldn't be half of who the fuck I am. Sponsored by mom. But if you're from, random states that don't have anything, if you're from Idaho, come to LA. Like if your goal is to do something that's, big and growing and stuff, then fly to that place. Like find a way to make enough money to fly there. You know how many times I would work 40, 50-hour weeks and then spend that whole paycheck on a flight? So many times. And you know how many times that flight to wherever I went to fell through? so many times. One time I was at LAX for 7 hours because I flew out here for a connection, thought it was all good, ended up flying out here with a guy who I swear to this day is undiagnosed on some type of vibe. And he just blew up on me and was yelling at me and all this crazy stuff. And you can still go fuck yourself, by the way. I felt literally like in a position of like, I need to leave. And so I did. I just literally left. I like walked away, took an Uber to the airport, called my mom, and I was like, I literally need a way to get home. And I said, I know if you have to put on a credit card, I understand, but I was like, I'll pay you back, but I have to get the fuck out of here. My mom like put up with a lot of shit for me, honestly. To this day, like, like if my mom wasn't who she was, my God, I'm fed up with my fucking self, all the shit I put myself through. You know, like if it weren't for my mom's love, like I wouldn't be where I'm at, bro. Like imagine, like I went to jail. Like I went to jail for fucking stupid shit. I didn't go to jail for no fucking protests. I didn't go to jail because I went to jail for being a dumbass. And my mom still got me out. And so like that just goes to show how much, you know, love your mom can show. And I don't want you guys to think I'm some spoiled rich kid, by the way. My mom for sure still fucking texts me every day like, hey, that credit card, you need to pay $50 on it. So a lot of my bills are because I still am paying my $7,000 bond off from jail. Yeah, that shit's not cool. Guys, don't go to jail. All right, anyways, I think it's time for another shot. So let's go ahead and take that shot. So like I said, what the fuck? What am I talking about? Guys, I don't know. So much of me wants to say some like crazy ass, freaky ass shit right now just because like that's who I am. Do you guys think that's weird, me talking about like some freaky ass shit? I don't want to be limited to one like group of people. Like I want people to tune into me because they know they're going to hear some crazy shit from me. Not on no weird shit. Not on no like, all right, bro, chill out. I just want to be like genuine. I want to talk about shit that we want to talk about. Like people want to talk about shit. Like, you know, it's like we want to say these things. I'm going to call this shit intrusive thoughts, honestly, because that's what this whole fucking podcast is going to end up being. I honestly love like intrusive thoughts. That shit is dope to me. You ever act on an intrusive thought for reals though? Like that's kind of a satisfying feeling. It also might get you in trouble, but for the most part, if you act on an intrusive thought, you might end up somewhere that you wanted to be, actually. So you never know. Your intrusive thoughts might win, and they might be the best thing that you need to do. I feel like YouTube and all that shit has like definitely been like a perfect platform for intrusive thoughts. I've become more and more myself in front of camera. Maybe it's fueled by the alcohol I'm drinking, but I think that I've genuinely just started like, I don't give a shit anymore. You know, funny enough, I think I stopped giving a shit when I realized that like I was shit out of luck. I was in a position so dire where like I couldn't pay my rent. I didn't have anybody to fall back on. I kind of just made a bond with myself. I just basically, you know, like sat there one night literally just thinking like, wow, like I have nothing. I could tell you the exact moment I was there, and I remember it. I remember I was laying in my bed, which was just the couch at Fabio and Alex's when I stayed with them. And I remember I couldn't sleep because all I could think in my head was, I don't have any money in my bank account. It's negative. I don't have any way to pay my rent. I don't have any sustainable job. I didn't have shit. Like I literally was just like worthless. And I know that sounds terrible to say about yourself, but there was a point where I was like, fuck, like I'm fucking worthless. Like I have no worth right now. I think being so honest with myself, like it just like broke me down. And I remember I was like, I definitely like cried a little bit because it was just so hard to be like, fuck. Like a year prior, I was in the big giant music video filming with mega stars. And now you're not shit, you know, sleeping in somebody else's house on their couch. And, you know, even if you wanted to, you couldn't give them money to help pay. And I just remember feeling literally like at my lowest. And I remember telling myself, like I made a promise to myself. I was like, I'm never coming back to this position. And it sucks, but I think that your worst moments make you. And I stand by that because it's like, fuck, like if you don't get fucked over and just shit out of luck, then your drive for certain things is not going to be as high. It's really about your mentality. And that's why I tell people all the time, how do you start a YouTube channel or how do you do a TikTok and stuff? Like, bro, fuck, like I didn't know how to do that shit. And you know what I did to figure it out was I just did it and I failed. And then I did it again. and I failed. You just do it. On making these pants, like I fucked up so many times that I was just like, fuck, like, I'm gonna get it right at one point. And it's just like you finally hit that, Krabby Patty formula and you get it. And then it's like you win. There's no easy way. There's no do this and then do that. There's no following a trend. Like, you gotta just do something. Like, you just gotta bust your ass until it works out. So, like, you follow your impulsive thoughts to come back to the point. I'm not gonna lie, this soju michelada, this shit might be it. I might need to get more of those. I can't wait until I have, because I will have, manifesting. I believe in that heavily. Hella money in my bank account. I'm manifesting a lot of money. Triple, quadruple, 6, 8. I can't even count how much money it would be because I did not do well in math type of money in my bank account, because I don't want it. Fuck that shit. I'm going to give half of it to my mom, and I'm just going to make sure the bills are paid, make sure that the money's still coming back in, and then the rest of it, I'm going to give it back to people, bro. I want to be who my mom was for me, to other people. I want to be like Shaq, bro. I don't even fuck basketball. I love basketball, but like, I want to be like Shaq. I just want to go buy computers for people. I want to make people happy in the world that didn't think it was possible. I want to give to people who maybe didn't have that opportunity around them. I just want to make people's dreams come true. I could stay in this apartment for the rest of my life. I could die here. I'll change out the furniture. I'll, get a new Lego set or something. I'll put a new couch over there. I'll, change up over there. I'm happy. If I have a family or something, then obviously you gotta take care of that and do that. But if it's just me, I'm happy here, man. I don't need nothing else. I think that's something I'm so happy that I've become content with. There's so much fucking greed in the world, bro. Like, people want so fucking much. And I'm not gonna lie, I want the same, if not more than what they want. But I don't want it for my personal gain. I want it because I want to just spread it to the right places. And it just sucks that there's so much corruption with money and power. But, I'm hoping that I can be the one that changes that. You know what's fucking sucks is that nowadays you really got to be doing something slightly controversial to get your fucking name popping. You know what? Fuck that shit. I said this to somebody the other day. I said this actually like 4 hours ago. I said, if I actually was like on record for all the shit I've said, done, and actually lived, I would be popping off shit. I'd be on Cheesemate page. I'd be doing this, doing that. But I don't put it out there. I don't know why. I'm not even trying to like pop my shit and act like I'm so fucking like, look at me. No, I just really lived a rock star lifestyle. I mean, my solo adventures in the Bahamas, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, ain't nobody was with me. It was just me, Shanghai, doing me. The shit I got into when I didn't have a camera on me, my God. My life is a dead ass movie. The places I've been to, the people I've been around and met and, rubbed shoulders with, I can't even fucking talk about it. I just know I shouldn't say it, I literally left Colorado, moved to New Orleans, and I literally could start the story there with Once Upon a Time, because that's when the fairy tale started. I mean, it was the most enjoyable, crazy, amazing fairy tale, and it's still going. It's still happening. It's, we're at chapter 3 right now, all right? Like, there's a fuckload of more chapters to go, and I love that. I love the adventure and the risk and the adrenaline that I've been through in life, because I think I just need that shit. Like, I just love that shit. And my favorite thing to do is going to bed when I have had a long, successful, hardworking day, when I've put my best foot forward and I lay down knowing I need to wake up tomorrow to get back to it, and I already have shit planned. That is my favorite feeling in the world. I love that feeling. I would rather feel that than sex. Well, maybe second to sex. But anyways, the point was, my freaky ass, was that, like, nah, I'm chilling. The point was that, I don't even know what the fucking the point was. For a vlog, I want to just take a random trip somewhere. I don't know where it would land. I feel like it'd end up in some Midwestern state. And I'd be like, I don't want to fucking go here. But I fucking would. Who should I drag along with me? I feel like I need to drag Blessive with me. I feel like Blessive's like kind of like my partner in crime when it comes to expeditioning into random territories. Because like Japan was kind of the first one for us. But prior to that, I think it was just in general. We're kind of a duo in a sense. Because like I, filmed for him and everything. So I was with him for a lot of his solo videos. And I think that kind of like solidified our like connection. So I think I gotta bring Blessive. So one of them, I want to spin a wheel and go to a random state, and two, I want to take a train for 24 hours. So those are my two videos that I'm gonna put together. And Blessive, if you're watching this, you have no fucking choice. But I will say, I literally love doing YouTube because I have so many ideas. They just come up to me. I love doing YouTube. It's so dope. It's so dope being able to do this stuff and create things that are in your head. And all you need to do is grab a camera, your friends, and, maybe put a few things together. So that's super dope. I like that. I like that aspect of doing YouTube. All right, guys. So I drank the rest of the soju michelada, and that shit was spicy. Like me, I'm spicy. I think I'm a spicy white boy because I heard a white couple's conversation the other day while I was waiting at the elevator. Forgive me if any of y'all are in a white relationship and that's not how it is. But from what I've experienced, it's like that. And this woman was talking to her gentleman, and she was basically saying, yeah, it's like when we go to the party, it's like, it's the tri-tip and the pasta. And she's like, sometimes people do the protein and the pasta, and they do it in the pasta. But she's like, I like to do the protein and the pasta. What the fuck are you talking about? How the fuck does that have any... No, I don't want to talk to you no more. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know how to explain the difference between a white conversation and anybody else's conversation, but it has seasoning, I think, is the best way to say it. When you talk to a white person, they'd be like, oh yes, I remember when I invested in crypto. It was the fourth quarter and 4/3. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me about fucking fractions right now. The fuck? I can't assimilate to that. I cannot assimilate. I use a big ass word. You guys, I'm drunk. Oh no. And I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but I heard you can't be racist to white people. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the clear. You can't be racist to white people. So me being white, saying things about white people, nobody gives a fuck. All right, cool. So we're in the clear. How the fuck are you going to talk about tri-tip and pasta? I would be so fucking bored. But with a Latina with a little bit of tóxica, you'd be like, ¿Qué haces, amor? She'd be like, ¿Qué es en tu celular? I'd be like, oh shit. Now we gotta have some fun. I'd rather much talk about the fucking girls in my fucking telefono, pero no fucking tri-tip and pasta. But all this talk of tri-tip and pasta has honestly made me hungry. So maybe white people are onto something. I don't know what food I have. Low-key, I bought some sick food. All right, when you're sick and you buy sick food, that shit's bussin'. When you're not sick and you look at sick food, you're like, ugh. And that's where I'm at right now. I got broth and ramen. Nah, if I had some ramen, I have an egg. So I could make some fire ramen. When I was in Japan, oh my God, the ramen they had in Japan was so fucking good. I love that shit. I miss the ramen in Japan. That shit just hit different. Now you taste it out here. It's like spaghetti and Dasani water. It's just I feel like I said a lot of funny ass things. Did I though? Do I say funny things? This is what it's like. You never know if you're being truly funny, especially when you're by yourself. Cause you'll say something and then you'll be like, oh, that was good. But you won't want to laugh at yourself because then you just look a fucking nutcase like me. Or nobody will laugh because obviously there's no fucking audience. There's no friends around you. So you're just sitting here oh, was that funny? So it's so funny to be alone and just be like, wait, am I funny? I think I said that in my vlog too, in my Mexican McDonald's vlog. Shit. Filming by yourself is a hoot. You guys ever just remember shit that you used to say or that people used to say? You go, what the fuck is that? People used to be like, oh, that was a hoot. The fuck is a hoot? It's a vibe, kicking it with me. Yeah, if you guys can't tell, the alcohol has affected Shanghai, but it's all good. You guys, if you guys get pants from me, I just want you to know I watch Viceland and investigative journalism while I paint. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast because I'm going to release it as is. And I hope you have fun with it. My favorite thing is when I get mentions. Blessive loves edits on TikTok, but I love mentions on TikTok because it makes me like realize like it's not something that I did commenting on my video. It's you guys thinking of me and like commenting about me. And it's like, that sounded a little fucking egotistical. I like when you guys communicate with me. I like that shit. Like, I see all the fucking DMs. I see all that shit. Some of y'all a little too freaky. I seen some shit out there. I'm like, yeah, I can't respond to this shit respectfully. But most of it, I do enjoy responding to, or like being a part of. I like edits too, but like I like mentions for sure. I don't know if you guys can believe this, but like I don't look at myself in the mirror and be like, damn. Like, I don't do that. Like, I like dressing well. I like looking good. I like, taking care of myself and being healthy. I just do it because I want to look good in a general way. But I never, like, take photos and, like, be like, damn. Like, I don't do that. I need to move to somewhere cheaper because I pay way too much for this apartment. And it's, like, I can see the front door. I can see my bed, see my office, see my living room, see my kitchen, see my bathroom. Everything. I don't even gotta move. It's $2,400. Oh, fuck that shit. I gotta go somewhere where it's a little bit cheaper because it's just a little crazy right now. I found a few places that I actually really like. You guys want to hear a funny story? All right, you don't have an option, but I talked to my mom on the phone and she was like, yeah, like your rent's really high. You should look at some cheaper places. And I was like, I would live in some cheaper places, but it's just kind of like the not living conditions. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's just definitely like what I'm used to is having like a washer and dryer in my apartment and like not worrying about like anything about like my car, my possessions or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I get you. And she's like, I understand, like, like you've grown accustomed to that. But she was like, but at the end of the day, remember, like, you grew up very poor and like kind of in the hood. She's like, so don't forget your roots. And I was like, all right, mom, chill the fuck out. Like, like, okay, like the fuck, trying to humble me. So my mom's basically being like, maybe you gotta go to the fucking laundromat, maybe you gotta get a gym membership. She was like, don't get too cocky. That shit was funny to me. I just think that like when I was in Miami, I was just making such good money. I was so proud of being able to afford good things because, like I said, I did not grow up with it. And when you're able to afford them by yourself, it feels really good. And so I kind of was living in like a nice area, nice apartment complex, had nice things, still in a humble sense. I wasn't driving Ferraris, but like I was able to afford like a decent living. And moving to LA, I tried to, keep that same baseline. But now my job security it's good still, but I need to make it a little bit lower so that I can continue to maximize, the other side of it. So low key, I want to move to kind of an area that's a little bit sketchy, but I got no problem with that. If anything, I'll probably have more fun in there because like I'm gonna pull up to all the spots. There's a swap meet, there's vendors, there's fruta stands, there's a save for less. I can't remember it. Vallarta, there's a super something. I don't know, but I toured the area and I was like, yo, why do I like this area more than where I live now? I was like, this is a fucking vibe over here. But anyways, that might be kind of a vibe, like I'm excited for that. I'm excited to live in that area. I have not at all secured that apartment, but I was able to like connect with the leasing agent there. So I'm gonna make sure I get an apartment there because I really like that place. And I felt like it was a vibe that I fuck with, and it's still in the area that I live in now. And I like the area that I live in. I just like being around Hispanic vibes, honestly. That's just my vibe. People come on my live or like come on my comments and shit and try to tell me like I'm taking advantage of the Hispanic culture. First off, if you guys know me, you know I'm not. And second off, if you don't know me, I am 1,002,000,000,000% not ever going to use the culture to better myself and then say, fuck y'all. So I'm low-key going to close it up right now. I've been talking on this mic for a minute and I've been kind of lit, chilling. But, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys had fun. And, yeah. But let me know down below what your favorite part was. Let me know if I went overboard too much. But I had a lot of fun. I got a little lit, got a little vibes going. On my next episode, though, I would love to have a guest. So let me know down below what guest you guys would like me to have on the podcast. Thank you guys for supporting me for reals from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Better Than Yesterday. And I will see you guys on next episode. Ciao. Peace. Love you.